we've gotten a lot of good receiving groups in the CFL, and you got to invest to keep them together, something BC has done. Who's the best for you? Because we got Toronto, obviously, yours. We got BC. We got Winnipeg. If you had to pick one group of those three, who would it be for you?
It's too easy. Double blue. Faithful and loyal to the double blue.
Winnipeg is blue and gold, actually.
Double blue. That's the Toronto Argonauts.
I mean, listen.
No hesitation.
It's not an outlandish pick because they're one of the three that are in the conversation. I will say the depth of Toronto's is most impressive. Because I think when you get to 5, 6, 7, if you have some people down, I think there is not a drop-off. I think if you're just watching from the sidelines and you say, where are the Nationals, where are the imports, where are the Americans, where are the Canadians, I don't think you can tell with the naked eye. And that's not true on every team.
That's not true.
But they're not the best group. They're not the. If we're drafting 5 receivers from these groups, so I'll even grant you the first pick. We are drafting our starting wide receiver group, and we're going 5 wide, 1 in the backfield. Give you the first pick.
Is a Toronto Argonaut.
Oh,
big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Number 80, DeVar's dad. You talk about crisp route running. You talk about a wide and large target radius. I mean, he could probably make any catch. And you look at the history, he's made some spectacular catches. The last game he played, 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. DeVar's dad was my first pick.
So you're telling me that he's the best receiver in the CFL?
DeVar's Daniel is my first.
Okay, so I'll take that as a no.
Yes.
Well, okay, this is why what you're doing is flawed, because if you just name Argos, you're just going to upset 4 other Argos because you didn't pick them first.
They're all starting on the same team.
Wow, but evidently you're saying one of them is better than the others. Listen.
That's what you're saying.
Well, no, that's what you just picked one first. You can't.
Somebody's got to get picked first.
Correct. And that person is Kenny Lawler, because when on the field and healthy and playing with an above average quarterback, he is that dude. Runs the entire route tree, man, zone, doesn't matter. Explosive plays, I'm your guy. Contested balls, I'm your guy. Yak yards, I'm your guy. Need to convert on second down, I'm your guy. Kenny Lawler.
It's not a bad pick at all.
I mean, of course it's not. He's the best receiver in the league.
Second pick for me. It's another Toronto Argonaut, but he's a beat. Whoop did he do? Cam Phillips. Now this is a guy.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh.
Cam Phillips.
Wow.
You look at his steady production. You look at the way he just, over the middle, I don't think there's any player, yes, I said it, I don't think there's any player that has as much damage on opposing defenses than Cam Phillips. And every time you see him making that catch over the middle, contested, challenged, he'll make it up. And you throw it up there, he'll catch it and come down with it. He's my second pick.
I don't even think he's the second best Argo. And if I'm Curly Giddings
I'm glad.
I have a problem with you right now.
I'm glad you're not picking for me.
Well, okay.
That's my pick.
This is the second time that you disrespected Curly Giddings Jr. on this very podcast. When we drafted Canadians, I had to pick him. Well, now we're drafting. Well, you're drafting Argos. We're drafting best receivers, and you pick someone who does not have the resume in the league.
This pick
you said 89,
was
not
mine
19.
And all yours.
Curly Giddings Jr. was the best Canadian wide receiver.
You going to get on with your pick?
I'm just. You're stacking it with Argos. You're not even stacking it right. The second best wide receiver of this group, because there's some ballers in Edmonton, there's some ballers in Ottawa, but we're talking about of the top 3 receiving groups, it's Dalton Schoen. We're going back to the peg. This guy, there was no learning curve when he came into the league. And I just talked about the fact that Kenny Lawler runs the entire right tree. Dalton Schoen doesn't have to. I'm just going to get 9s and 7s and 8s on your head top. Week after week after week. Dalton Schoen, number 2.
All right. Number 3 pick is clearly your boy, Curly Giddings Jr. Don't forget the junior, because he's another guy that's absolutely lethal. You talk about intermediate routes, he's got it. Deep routes, he's got it. Give him the ball at the 1-yard line, and he can take it to the house. Curly, screens, reverses, literally every single route, he can do it.
Should have been your second pick, but yeah, he's still that dude.
And that's the thing for me. Any single one of the guys that I've picked so far can be that guy.
I mean,
Any day of the week.
that's not true.
That's absolutely true.
Keon Hatcher. We talk about earned, not given. This is someone who has worked his way up the pecking order. Started and maybe using number 4, number 5 in the read progression. Now he's a number 1. He's dictating coverage because he's putting it on tape week in, week out. Keon Hatcher is my third pick.
I'm going to go with number 3. Toronto Argonauts. Number 18. Dejan Brissett.
I mean, this is your 4th Argonaut.
That's right. Dejan Brissett. I mean, he's a guy, you talk about learning curve. He's a guy that didn't really get to play too much last year. But he gets his name called this year, and he is taking every opportunity he's getting. I mean, we saw all the catches that he's made so far. I mean, the spectacular catches in the end zone and his ability. And what I like about him is he's quiet. He won't be too loud, but he works at everything that he needs to do. And on top of that, he doesn't just catch the ball. He blocks extremely well and plays special teams for you. So my 4th pick, number 18, Dejan Brissett.
You know, my 4th pick is Mr. Rhymes. He's someone who's giving you that yak, that yards after catch, tough, over the middle, survives contact, shows you the ball, I got it. And so every receiving group needs a guy like that. I'm going with Rhymes. Your last pick.
My last pick is another Toronto Argonaut.
Oh, my.
You didn't get
I can't wait.
You didn't get that.
It's social team. Can we have an IG poll? Can we have a carousel? Can we have Henoc's 5 versus my 5? And just let the comments decide, please.
Next is Demonte Coxey. He's a guy who, again, you talk about coming onto the scene and who is going to last for a long time, not just now, not just today, but I think that he is really the receiver of the future as well. I mean, his ability to run the routes, but also go up and get every single ball. I don't know how many DBs can challenge him and actually win when the ball is up in the air for a game. I like my Demonte Coxey anytime, any day of the week.
So this is really tough. And it's really tough because Henoc has essentially punted this exercise. So I've had to make real tough decisions between 2 really talented teams. But I going to give you a guy who will block for you, who can get up in the backfield, maybe a little satellite motion in the backfield, can run it for you. If they let him, he could throw it for you. Was a star at the University of Manitoba, stays in Providence. Give me Dembski.
I'm not gonna let you do that.
I mean,
just over here talking
Dog,
about
you had-
who are you gonna put 5?
You
You just put the guy that you're hyping up that is supposedly
Thank
your
you.
guy
I know. Talk to him. Yeah.
at number 5.
Correct. You want to know why? Because I know my opponent. And because I knew you weren't going to pick him, so you're just going to pick Argos. So even I could get him later. I could get him later
right?
because I knew
You heard
you
it,
weren't
Nick.
going to pick him.
You heard him, Nick.
Heard him what?
He thinks that you're number 5.
Well, what do you think he's number 0? Because you didn't pick him at all.
Oh, I picked my guys. I definitely picked my guys.
And I picked my guys.